Salutations from space, my children! Over the years, MGM has released a number of its movies on VHS and DVDs. In particular, B-movies under the title of Midnite movies. And for a brief time, IDW adopted a couple of those movies into new comics. So behold, my children, It, the Terror from Beyond Space. This is one of the rare examples where the comic adaptation of a movie is arguably superior to the original. It, the Terror from Beyond Space, was released in 1958 and suffered a number of production problems, particularly when it came to its monster, the actor of which was difficult on set and refused to get properly fitted for his costume, to the point where his chin stuck out of the monster's mouth and had to be painted to look like a tongue. Fortunately, monsters in comic books are not limited by such difficulties. Whatever hellish creature we can imagine, my children, is right there on the page. Foregoing the framing device of the movie, where the story is explained at a press conference, the writers also saw fit to begin the story much earlier than the movie. We meet the crew of the Challenge 142, a spaceship on the way to Mars on a rescue mission. Their former ship, the Challenge 141, was on the first mission to Mars when they lost contact with it. The Challenge 142, crewed by 6, lands on Mars and soon finds the wreckage of their sister ship. Amidst the wreckage, they find not only blood, but only one survivor, the former Captain Carruthers. While they take him back to be examined by Dr. Royce, Security Chief James Calder sneaks out and takes a sample of some kind of ice crystals, stowing them away in a secret box. While Scientist Anderson laments that they will not have time to complete the study of Mars the original ship had been dispatched to do, Carruthers explains what happened, that one of his men had sent a secret message back to base, and that their ship soon after crashed, and the crew was picked off in a dust storm by some kind of alien monstrosity. However, his story is called into question when they find a human skull with a bullet hole in it. Captain Van Heusen puts Carruthers under arrest under suspicion of murder. After all, there's only one kind of monster that uses a gun, and he would be more likely to survive on Mars alone than with a full crew. However, that theory soon goes out the window as Quartermaster Keinholz heads down to the base of the ship and is attacked by the monster Carruthers described. When they find his body, it has been drained of all moisture, leaving only a husk. The crew bands together and seals the monster below, learning that Calder was indeed sent on a secret mission to retrieve something from the Martian surface, and that it's likely that whatever was inside of his ice sample thawed and grew to what it is now. The remaining crew band together to think of ways of fighting the monster. Bullets seem to only annoy it, so maybe poison gas can repel it. Unfortunately, that attempt ends with the captain severely wounded in the battle. What's worse, the fighting may have damaged the navigational systems, since the ship is now flying off course. The only way to manually correct the mistake is to go past the creature to the appropriate engine controls, by walking outside of the ship. But while Carruthers and Calder make the spacewalk, Captain Van Heusen awakens, delirious from the attack and loss of blood, and forces his way onto the bridge, believing he can kill the creature by unshielding the atomic reactor. Of course, doing so would flood the ship with radiation, and Anderson is forced to kill her captain to save them. After completing the course correction, the monster attacks Carruthers and Calder, forcing Calder to shove Carruthers in an airlock to save his life. With only the 3 of them left, Dr. Carruthers finally finds a way to kill the creature. While in the original movie, the monster was suffocated in a vacuum, here they discover that the monster is hyperhydrated from water poisoning. The atmosphere on the ship is much more humid than on Mars, so as it drains the water from their bodies, it is actually drowning itself. They try to lure the monster into the water tank storage using Van Heusen's body, but it sees through the attack, forcing Dr. Royce to sacrifice herself to bring it to the water tanks and flood the the area, killing it once and for all. Thus it leaves Anderson and Carruthers as the only two survivors of both expeditions, with the fear that they may wish to skip Mars in future explorations. For it would seem that another word for Mars is death.